Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cant Sports, and it's our NFC North breakdown. The NFC North overall this week did a pretty good job. Um, they ended up winning. Every team won except for obviously the two that faced each other. So that's pretty good overall. I mean, I didn't pay attention to much of the other games because I was busy, but I was at the game. With that, looking at the Lions first, like we usually do, Lions ending up beating the Seahawks on Monday Night Football, beat them for the first time quite a while. The Seahawks typically have the Lions numbers, but the offense played great. Goff was perfect. Like literally, he was perfect, and just some stuff that needs to get fixed on the defense when you face better teams. But it was a good game for the Lions.
Yeah, it's a good game, and Geno Smith has had our number for quite a while. Still played up until the last couple series, played a hell of a game in dominate. I thought he was dominating over our defense. Our defense made some good plays though at times. So you can't. Yeah, things are going to happen. You're going to have a few games every year where the defense doesn't play well, the offense doesn't play well. In the first three games, I thought the offense was good, but everyone was worried about Goff, and I think he showed this game that he just needed to knock the rust off. He was perfect this game.
Literally
Played,
perfect. Set an NFL record.
Played
and a receiving touchdown.
Right, made some big plays, made some big throws. Nothing's going to be easy this year. No game is going to be easy, so people need to, kind of realize that going into this thing. Everything's going to be a grind, no matter who we play. It's just going to be tough. Wins are tough in the NFL. So you gotta, just like I said, just give these guys a little bit of leeway and stuff, and I mean, I think Montgomery played well. The running game seems to keep going. The offensive line, even though they had Asioko, I don't know if I'm saying his name right. They played really well, and Graham Glasgow did a really good job at center. Protected Goff, and everybody, like I said, the offense stepped up this game and made up for the defensive lapses.
Yes.
And that's got to happen every now and then. Sometimes the defense is going to do it, and then other times the offense, and then sometimes both are going to be on.
Yeah, but looking at other teams around the NFL, in the NFC North, obviously, the Bears, surprising. I didn't even know that they won this week, but they won. They beat the Rams.
They beat the Rams. I watched some of that game. That was a good game.
24-18.
The Bears have a legit defense. And when you have a legit defense, they'll keep you in games. And I thought Caleb Williams, like I said, he looked a little better. I don't know what his stats were or something like that.
Caleb Williams was 17 for 23 for 157 yards, was sacked a total of 3 times. And he also ran for another 12.
But I mean, he was okay.
Their offense was pretty even on both sides of the ball. They threw for 157. They ran for 131. So you're pretty even. I don't know how close the game probably was. Like if the Rams got a last-second touchdown, or if the Bears were doing good late in the game and got the lead. I don't know how exactly it was,
Rams are decimated by injuries right now.
That too.
Matt Stafford's trying his best. I thought that they were going to come back down the field, but Bears defense was good, and you got to give them credit. Nothing's going to be easy in our division this year.
They are 500 on the year now. I don't know how well the rest of the year is going to go for the Bears, but I mean, you're doing well, and that's what you want out of the Bears if you're a Bears fan. And the other game in the division, the first divisional matchup that happened, the Vikings came out on top, 31-29. Sam Darnold leading the Vikings to another victory. However, the Vikings almost blew it. Looking at the box score, they were up 28-7 going into the fourth quarter, and they let up 22 points in the fourth quarter at Green Bay. So the defense just collapsed at the end. They almost blew another lead like they did against the Colts with that 31-point lead.
Like I said, nothing's easy in this league. Everything is tough. You can't take your foot off the pedal. But the Minnesota Vikings have been the surprise of the NFL so far this year. I don't think anyone thought they would.
And then again, another well-rounded offense. Sam Darnold threw for almost 300 yards. He was 275.
Sam Darnold, man, the resurgence.
3 TDs, an interception on the day, and they also ran for 120. Jordan Love, in his return from injury, threw for 389 yards, 4 TDs, and 3 interceptions on the day.
I wish I'd put him in. I would have
And
won my fantasy game.
and they only ran for 86 yards, so they kept the rushing attack down. It just Vikings couldn't stop the air. But
Right.
Vikings came out on top. They're winning the division, 4-0. You are Lions are second in the division right now, 3-1, and then you have a couple teams tied at the bottom between the Packers and Bears for that third spot. So the division is still close, but it's also early in the season, and we will see what happens. But right now, I'm honestly thinking the Vikings have a good shot to dethrone us, win the division with how they're
It's
playing.
still
They're playing very well.
It's still very early.
And they have a favorable schedule when you look out of everybody
That's
in
the
the
thing that
division.
worries you is they have a more favorable schedule, and
They put
we just got to see how we match up against them when we play them.
looking ahead, right? You are going to play the Vikings are going to play the Jets in England this week, a 9:30 in the morning game for the Vikings.
That should be a
8:30 if you are a Vikings fan in Central Time. 8:30 in the morning game for you to have fun with. They are favored by 2.5, and then they're going to come play us. It's the second division matchup that they'll have before they kind of continue their easy schedule. Because after us, I would say we're the most difficult team in front of them at the moment. You're going to go play a LA team that's riddled with injuries. You're going to go play in the Indianapolis Colts, which their QB is spotty right now.
Really, yeah, rough.
The 0-4 Jaguars, the 1-3 Titans, the Bears, the 1-3 Cardinals, the 2-2 Falcons, the Bears again, Seahawks, Packers, Lions, and the season. So, in my opinion, if the Vikings keep on playing the way they're playing, they might only lose 3 games, maybe 4 games.
Yeah, I mean,
They might lose to us 1-2 matchups. They might lose to the Seahawks depending on how well they play. And really, those are where my only 2 question marks are at. They might
do
lose
we
to
play
Green
them
Bay
in
and Green Bay.
Minnesota, or they come to
But
us?
they end at here. The season ends here for them.
Okay.
So our matchup is with them early in the season.
Next 2 weeks we're on the road, Dallas and Minnesota, or
Well, we have a bye.
The next 2 games.
Lions are on a bye. Looking at the Packers' upcoming schedule, they're going to go to LA this week, a struggling LA team. So that might be what they need. They could go be 3-2. At the end of that, I think they probably will beat Stafford and the Rams. The Rams are just, again, killed with injuries right now.
Right.
Their season's kind of going downhill. You're going to go play the Cardinals, then the Texans, and then the Jaguars before they play us a little bit into the season. So their next few games are kind of favorable outside the Texans.
Right.
For them. Looking at our last team, as the Lions are on a bye, but I mean, we can look a little bit into the future for them, though, too, at the end of this. But the Bears, let's see if the Bears' schedule isn't favorable for them, too. I would say it is. They could be above 500 pretty easily by a couple games the next 2 weeks. They're going to play against the Lonely Panthers in Chicago this week.
Yeah.
And then they're going to they're going to go to London and play the 0-4 Jaguars. So they could be 4-2 coming back into the United States. They play Washington, who probably they'll lose to because they're in Washington. Then they go to Arizona, New England, and Green Bay. So depending on how Caleb Williams is going to do the next 4 weeks, the Bears could be knocking on the door just as much.
Right. It's going to be tough because, like I said, we have to go through pretty good damn teams, and these other teams are going to have a nice schedule. And like I said, the way the Vikings are playing, they look like the favorite to win the division at this point.
It's going to depend on how you play the Vikings. Looking just ahead for the Lions, since we looked over the other teams next few weeks. Obviously, like I said, they got to bye this week. A week break before they go to Dallas. We always love playing in Dallas. So much fun every single year when we play them in Dallas. Everyone remembers last year in the playoff games. But Dallas is struggling too. They're 2-2. They might be below 500 by the time you play them. I don't even know who they're playing this week, though. They get beat up by. But you're going to go to Dallas in a couple weeks. They're going to play. Dallas is playing the Steelers first, I think, on Sunday Night Football, not Monday Night Football. So they're playing a primetime game before they come play you. Then you're going to go to Minnesota. Then you're going to come home for the Titans and then go to Lambeau. before, and then Houston before your schedule gets a little bit easier. So realistically, after this bye, you got to try and probably go 3-2 if you're the Lions, at least, and probably a win over the Vikings is what you need.
Well, yeah, yeah, that would be nice, but even maybe better. I mean, it's going to be hard to keep up with Minnesota considering their schedule and who they play. I've said at the beginning of the year I was looking at 11-6, and I think the way the Vikings are playing right now, they're going to be better than that.
They're playing very well. Their schedule does not seem to be difficult at all with how Sam Darnold is playing. They very well, unless a tire blows halfway through the season for
Right.
them. Like they keep on playing hot. They're not playing teams that are super competitive. The Lions are. The Packers and Bears are. Packers are playing semi-competitive teams because they were in the playoffs last year. But the Bears and the Vikings aren't playing that competitive teams right now, and that is to their advantage to get them beyond where they want to be. Because I don't think anybody, I will even say Vikings fans, probably didn't expect them to be playing as
Oh,
well
I
as they're
don't think
playing.
anybody.
They
No.
obviously everyone is hyped on their own home team, but I'm pretty sure most of them thought they'd probably be around 9-10 wins.
Right.
And there's a chance they're going to be at 12-13 wins depending on how their season goes.
Right.
Which would be a swap probably for us in Minnesota.
Just never know. Never know. Every year is different, and you can't count on what they did last year. That's why I said, everyone was excited because we made the NFC Championship game, but that doesn't guarantee you anything.
It does not.
So,
And like I said, the division looks to be fun. I mean, you're probably currently the best division in the NFC, because none of your teams are below 500. They're either 500 or better, while every other division at least has a team that's 1-3 in the NFC. But with all that being said, if you'd like to see, like, comment, subscribe, let us know what you think about what went around in the NFC North this week. And until next time, see everybody soon.